Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created using my collective kit. It is a kit that I put together in January to use throughout the year of 2020. I am following along with several people on YouTube who are doing something similar. Probably their kits are not nearly as big as mine. They are taking collections that they have either purchased as a collection or ones that they have pulled together from different sources. Mine is based on two separate paper pads, the first being the Auburn Lane collection from Pink Paisley, and the other being the Jen Hadfield collection from American Crafts called Heart of Home. Now, both of these collections have a very similar feel, and so I put all that stashed together. The embellishments are mixed, and I'm going to try and get that used up over the course of a year. Now here you see I've got my pattern paper as background pieces. I have the floral on top of that geometric pattern, and it works fine. But I'm following along with the sketch, and I don't remember where the sketch was now, someplace online, but it had lots of border strips and scrap pieces of paper along the back side. So you'll see here I've got all of my border strips from the paper pad that I have already cut off. And I do this when I get a paper pad. I will cut off, and I'm about to use it, not necessarily when it's just sitting in my stash. When I'm about to use it, I will pull the border strips off, cut them off, and then try and use them throughout the process of using up the paper collection. So here I've got them all laid out, and I'm just trimming some of them up. And I have some from the 6x8 paper pad as well as the 12x12 paper pad. And I just lay them all along there, and you'll see when I glue them all down, having the holes in the middle is not going to be a problem because they will be covered up. And it's a way to utilize your paper scraps without having to cut into additional paper. A lot of times I do layouts like that, like this one, at the end of a kit because I have a lot of scrap paper, and so it helps in the process to have all those scraps to create the layers with. But because this is a relatively new kit for me and I haven't really got that many scraps, I opted to use the border pieces from the paper pads, multiple. And there I'm just using a scrap of paper to back my photo to give it a white border. And here you'll see me, I'm just going to go through and start gluing these down. There's no rhyme or reason how I lay them down. It's just whatever feels right to me. And I have all different shades and colors of paper because those backgrounds that I chose have all the different shades. They have the greens, the purples, the pinks, the creams, the black as far as that very back piece, hints of darker shades. So I'm pulling in even a wood grain and a black check. So you can see I'm getting lots and lots down on the paper. This is another way that I use up those scrap pieces, is that I will not necessarily cut the edges, just lay them all down. I don't put my adhesive all the way to the very end because I know I'm going to be cutting some of them off, the bulk of them off. So I don't put my adhesive all the way to the very end. So when you guys are making layouts, do you do these type of layouts using the border strips that come from the paper pads? Do you use yours up or wait till you get to the end of your collection and just use the scrap papers to create layouts like this? Or do you create layouts like this? I feel like all these pattern papers actually tone down the back side of the last piece of the base page with all the floral elements. That's a pretty busy piece of paper, and so I feel like being able to tone that down to some degree with all these border strips helps some. And you can see that is a 6x8 sheet of paper that I pulled in from that paper pad, and it was the Jen Hadfield 6x8 paper pad, and it matches the background paper perfectly. So here I am. I'm going to glue it right down the center, so you can see I'm covering up most of those centers, if you will. Before I do that, I want to layer up some more paper along the background to kind of fill in some gaps and such. And so here I'm just adding them onto a white scrap piece of paper, only because the sheerness of the washi tape will make you'll lose it in the context of the background with all the busyness that's going on already. So here I am. I'm just clipping these, or putting them on white background paper, and you'll see as I go along, I just tack them down just like I do the border strips. And I pulled in several of the washi tapes to give me lots of options to create that background. I want to say they're from the Jen Hadfield, the washi tapes that I purchased. I purchased all of this I want to say Tuesday morning. I don't remember getting it any other place. And that's okay. I do a lot of my shopping there. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't always find it all at the same time. Sometimes it's over the course of months. And that's how it was with this collection, or all of these collections that I found that I made into this one kit. I found it all over the course of months. It wasn't just a go out one-time purchase. So you can see I'm still fiddling around with getting all those pieces of paper down on the background. And I'm cutting off right where I cut those pieces of paper, those border strips there on the smaller ones. They were right in the middle with the hole where I cut them. So I just cleaned up the edges of those to put that paper there so it doesn't look quite like a border piece with the hole in it. So I'm going to double layer up this photo. I have the white background, and then I just pulled this gold out. I just felt like it needed a little extra something, and so I'm okay with that. And here I'm going to, I have the white border, I have the gold border, and now I've got that dark gray that I am bordering up with. So that worked out perfectly, perfect size there. And I love how that looks on there. I did add a little paper clip because the inspiration piece that I was following along with had a paper clip, and that's a gold paper clip. Not gold, it's more copper tone than gold. And so you can see I'm just going through here and cutting those border strips unevenly. I don't want them to all be the same length, so I'm just going in and varying the edges of them. And no, the adhesive doesn't go all the way out to the edge, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I think it really tones down that background paper that has all the florals on it, and even the paper with the tree on it is kind of busy, and so all these border strips are a great base for that. So the photo is of my husband and I, and we have our newest granddaughter our youngest granddaughter in that photo, and we've got her out in the backyard. She was a little over a month old when she came to visit us, and so we were outside, and we just opted to take her with us. We were looking at some stuff and talking about some stuff in the backyard, and my son came out with the camera and snapped a picture of us while we were talking about, I think, planting some grass or something. So you can see there, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever blundered and broken a wood veneer piece. Yep, that was me. I did that. And not the first time, and I'm quite positive it will not be the last time in my entire life that I break a wood veneer piece. And so here I'm just putting it down. I'm finding a place for it, and I'm going to put it down. I did take some close to my heart ink and just touched it up just a wee bit. It had a fairly white color to the wood, and so it kind of blended into the background, and so I just added a little additional color to it, and it blends in perfectly back there. Now those houses are ones that I fussy cut from one of the pattern papers, and I love doing that. If a piece of pattern paper has an element that works with fussy cutting, I'll do it. And so that's what I've done here is I fussy cut all those little houses out. And now I'm going to, layer some of them up to make my embellishment clusters. And the wood veneer says home, and so what's more significant than having a little house to be your home? So yeah. Here I'm just layering up these houses where I want them. I haven't pulled off any of the adhesive yet, but I'll do that here in just a second. You can see one I laid down without any foam adhesive behind it. I just used standard glue, and then the other one I put foam adhesive behind. And I'll do that again, use the regular adhesive and then some foam adhesive to pop some of them up. I love doing layouts like this, and I really love how this layout is coming together. To me, all of the flowers and the tree and the homes, it is really significant to our family in that we are homebodies. We are not the type of people who, go out and gallivant all the time and do things away from home. We spend a lot of time at home, and I am way okay with that. Yeah, so having all of these things that are important to us, the trees that we're looking at in our backyard, and then having the tree paper, the floral elements because we have live plants around the yard, things like that that make it feel more like home. The whole layout. And then the little houses, of course, those are perfect. So I had to walk away for a few minutes and go do some things, and I came back, and so here I'm just still working on getting all these little finishing touches on. I've got all the embellishment clusters where I want them. I've got the embellishments down that I feel like exactly how I want them, and so now I am just going through and adding my finishing touches with these enamel dots. I have those bling pieces there, and the smaller ones are fairly easy to use. I can get those used up most any place. The bigger pieces, though, I have had some difficulty getting those used. I think those would probably be easier to use on cards. Here I am. I'm putting the date down, 2014, and that is a chipboard thickers alphabet, and so of course it's chipboard, so it's not going to stick. The adhesive is long. As soon as you take it up off the carrier sheet, the adhesive's done for. So I'm just going ahead and adding the adhesive on now, and I think that's going to do it for my layout. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching my video. I hope I've inspired you to get into your stash and create something fun today. Whether it be a card, a layout, or just some other crafty item. Like I said, I appreciate you being here. I would love it if you would flip me a thumbs up. And if you are interested in seeing more videos like this one using stuff from your stash, please feel free to come on back, subscribe if you like, and hit that notification bell, and it will notify you the next time I put a video up. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.